I'd say anywhere from 18 to 25
Okay.
should be the demographic that you're shooting for. And as it goes up, as those people hit 26, bring in more 22-year-olds and stuff like that, because they're going to start to grow up. They're no longer going to be in their youth. You know what I mean?
Right. What's going down? Welcome to another episode of the Connections Hub podcast, where we connect you to everything's business related. Now, I'm not going to steal his thunder, but I am sitting here with the man with the plan, Jared. So I want you to go ahead and take it over and let us know who you are and what it is you do.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Jared Robinson. I'm a current college student right now, but also on top of that, I'm an entrepreneur. I do a couple of things. I've started a nonprofit with one of my friends. We pulled in over $20 million worth of hyper and supercars at our car show, aimed at inspiring underserved youth to start their own businesses. So we accomplished our mission statement with that, so that was super awesome. On top of that, I also have my own company. It's called Nesh Digital Media Management, and so we do brand management and stuff like that. So all around, I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur, but other than that, I'm just a college student just trying to make it out here. You know what I'm saying?
No, facts. So shout us out. What college you go to?
Well, I was at LSU for the past 2 years, but currently I'm transferring over to A&M.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your major?
So my major is in telecommunications. I've got a minor in journalism that I'm working on. And then my concentration is in strategic communications. So that's really where my specialty lies, is when it comes to PR. So for that nonprofit I was talking about, I'm actually the chief marketing officer for them.
Makes sense.
So I handle everything in marketing, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. But really my specialty is in PR. So that's what I love to do.
Oh, no, that's amazing. Well, I'm pretty sure our listeners are going to love this particular episode. So kind of take us back a little bit. We're in Houston. Are you locally from Houston, or where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from Houston. Well, not born in Houston. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. Moved around a lot as a kid. We were in Atlanta, and then my parents got divorced, and we moved here to Houston in 2007. So I've been here in Houston ever since. What's that, like 15, 16, some years?
Yeah,
that's
a minute.
Yeah,
you can rep Houstonian a little bit.
Exactly. The majority of my life is Houston, Texas. So Houston Astros, Houston Rockets all the way, like Luis Scola times. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know some of y'all know who Luis Scola is. But yeah, so Houston all the way. I'm from 3rd Ward, Houston, right down the street from the Turkey Leg Hut.
Trey, Beyonce, what's up? No,
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Sure. No, 3rd Ward, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I love Houston. There's no other city like it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely agree. So let's kind of jump into things. So I know you said you really love PR. Your background's in PR. You got your nonprofit going. You got the digital marketing agency going. But let's touch a little bit on, because you said something powerful, which was you were able to put together $20 million worth of supercars in one spot and basically give back to the kids. So kind of walk me through that event, and how were you able to do something like that, first of all?
Yeah, so what that was for this nonprofit named Dream Rides Entrepreneurship. That's where you can find us on Instagram, dream.rides.entrepreneurship, shameless plug.
I got you.
But how did we do that? We had a great marketing campaign. We had a great marketing scheme. And so everything that we did was in the social media marketing field.
So what you mean by social media marketing field? Like, give me a big background on that. What do you mean?
So I feel like a lot of people, when they look at social media, so social media was our biggest tool, is how we got everything out there.
Oh, as far as marketing.
How we spread the word, you know what I mean? And so I feel like a lot of people, when they see social media, they see it as like just this fun thing to post and show your friends, and, you know, like you go to like a vacation in Cabo. Oh, let me take some Instagram pictures, you know what I mean? But on top of it being a great way to connect with your friends and stuff like that, it is also a tool for business, right?
Definitely.
And so something that I believe in is that you can have 50% great idea, but without social media, it's not going to go anywhere. And that's just like, it's almost any business, whether it's a small business or whether it's like a nonprofit organization. Anything and everything needs social media these days, because that's where your consumers are. Your consumers are on social media. So if you're trying to market on newspapers and billboards and stuff like that, and by handing out flyers, that's just not going to work anymore. No. Like, just literally, I mean, the best way to do it is on social media. People are on their phones talking, FaceTiming. Right. They put it down. What do they see right after that? The screen. So that's where you want your ad, is going to be on the screen. You know what I mean? So for us at Dream Rides, that was the main way that we connected with our audience and brought in all those cars, was on social media, specifically Instagram.
So like, what did you, when it comes to social media, okay, we got a business podcast. So a lot of us, we have like our business page and things like that, but how did you really use social media to bring in that attraction? Was it just for awareness, the sponsors? Like, where did social media fit into the marketing plan, I guess, so to speak?
Yeah, so I mean, social media can do everything, honestly, and specifically social media marketing, that term. So that's what I want you to remember. That term, social media marketing, is what I do specifically.
Okay.
And so what that is it's doing traditional things for marketing, whether that is doing things to pull in sponsors or like making like sponsored posts, you know what I mean? Or whether that is like promoting, like making hype videos and stuff like that. And like
What you mean by hype videos?
like a hype video, or like a hype graphic, you know what I mean? And so what that is, it's something just to build hype, just to build awareness. You know, people want to see something cool on their feed, right? So if you think about it, if you're sliding through, what are you competing against?
Right.
You're competing against memes, and you're competing against other hype videos, you know what I mean? And so people, if they see a boring post, they're just going to scroll right past it. They're not going to click it. They're not going to share it to their friends, repost it on their stories. So you really got to try to make your post really, like, I hate to say, but like woke, you know what I mean? It's got to appeal to the kids. It's got to appeal to the younger demographic, you know what I mean?
It's funny. I was just quick side note. I was at at the Ion and at this like pitch competition, and the girl, one of her shameless plug to her, but it's called Unlearn, and pretty much she's starting a startup where she's teaching kids about social justice online. But anyways, her Instagram handle is like something woke, and I'll get back to y'all if y'all interested in that. But it's something woke, and a guy in the crowd was like, try not to use the word woke. It's such a trendy word right now. So when you said woke, that's what I thought about, like, this guy, trendy word.
No, but that's the thing, and that's actually, I mean, a great transition for social media marketing is trendy, right? So social media marketing, the reason why it works and the reason why it's more effective than traditional marketing strategies right now is because it is trendy, right?
And what you mean by trendy?
Right. So what trendy is
like that
when Yeezys were coming out, right? Or do you remember a couple years back, maybe 2016, when Drake like destroyed the game with joggers, and Walmart was sold out of joggers, Target was sold out of joggers, just pants with crude bottoms, things that have been around since the 80s, right? But all of a sudden, Drake, one of the biggest influencers, he won Artist of the Decade, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest influencer of the decade, arguably, had joggers on in one of his music videos, and then they sold out across the country. Trendy, right? So you've got to follow the trends, because what the big influencers are going for, I mean, you've got to study them too. I mean, what they're pushing, what they say is cool, that's the trend, right? And so if you're following that trend, if you push content that's similar to that, you know what I mean, then you're going to find success, because, I mean, people idolize these guys in social media like they're gods,
right?
Honestly, you know what I mean?
And all they did was figure out the algorithm, or figure out
you know what I mean? Just figure out the algorithm. That's it.
Figured out the algorithm. And I was just talking with a marketer yesterday, and one of the things that he said, and I'm even getting better with that in my own business, was finding that common medium. Because I've always been a person with like, I don't want to do that, that's too trendy, or that's too, everybody's doing that. But finding that common medium of putting your own spin on what everybody else is doing to make it where it's not as trendy per se, but it's kind of, you made it uniquely your own to a certain extent. How would you, or how can business owners do this within their brand?
My best advice would be to bring in young people, right? And why do I say it like that? Because...
And what is your definition of young people?
So young,
like a good demographic age range.
So I'd say right now, I'd say anywhere from 18 to 25 should be the demographic that you're shooting for. And as it goes up, as those people hit 26, bring in more 22-year-olds and stuff like that, because they're going to start to grow up. They're no longer going to be in their youth. You know what I mean?
Right.
The social media and specifically the trends are controlled by young people, right? If you look at J. Cole, if you look at Kendrick, I mean, Baby Keem, they just had Rolling Loud the other day, right? And so the majority of people there, the main demographic, were kids 18 to 25 years old, right? And so if you are appealing to them, if you're controlling them, they're the ones who actually control the trends, right? Because, I mean, Drake could have, wore joggers, but the only reason that it was successful was because people liked it and they liked the video, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so what you've got to do is you've got to appeal to the audience, right? And so if the audience is young people 18 to 25, what do you need to do? Bring in young people ages 18 to 25 who know the demographic, know the space, know the people that you're trying to appeal to, and they're going to give you all sorts of ideas. I mean, you're going to go, wow, I never even thought of that. You know what I mean? Because you've got to bring in young people who have new innovative ideas, right? Because I mean, you can do all the marketing that you want. You can come up with whatever ideas that you want to. You know what I mean? You can look at the trends and try and copy those. But the way that you're going to get a new innovative idea is by bringing in young people with new mindsets, with new things that you've never even heard about.
Right. No, and it's funny. I totally agree with that. I agree with that so much. I made, well, two things. One, I made a video before that's blatantly says, baby boomers, you need to hire young people to do your marketing. So I made a video about that, just blatantly saying that on Instagram. It's fairly recent, so if y'all can go check out my Instagram, you'll probably find it. I had a hat on, by the way. And then the second thing I want to say is I'm a firm believer in that because I've shared with you co-working space. That's where everything is going, to digital co-working space for content creators. But one of the things I keep saying is we got to keep filling it with young people, and even when they, like you said, when they get younger, when they get older, bring in even younger people, because that's ultimately what keeps the business going and growing. You have to find some type of model where you're steady bringing in that new blood. I was in multi-level marketing for a minute, and that was always saying, where's your new blood? Where's that new fuel of the organization? So I definitely agree with that. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate really quick, like one of our listeners, because what if my demographic isn't somebody that's 18 to 25, or maybe they don't represent the type of demographic that I'd be looking for? Am I just looking for them for ideas and maybe to run it, or are you saying those are the people that we need to see on camera doing the videos, doing the content?
Okay, so first I'll address the latter part of that. So the people doing the content needs to be, in my opinion, it needs to be for the demographic, right? Okay. So if your demographic is women ages 35 to 40, then you want the spokesperson on camera women ages 35 to 40. Right. You know what I mean? If it's a black-owned business, you're going to want the people who are the face of the company to be, you know what I mean? Right. To be black-owned, you know what I mean? You're not going to want your, I hate to say it, but your white marketeer, making the marketing videos for a black-owned business. Well, isn't this a black-owned business? You know what I mean? Exactly. That's not your demographic, you know what I mean? So specifically for the face, you want your face of the company, or whoever the face of the image of what you're trying to create, to be specifically for the demographic, right? But when it comes to actually coming up with the ideas, editing the videos, and stuff like that, my best advice, I think the young people do it best, right? Agreed. Even you've got marketeers and you've got video editors who are 30, 35, 40, been doing this a long time, right? They're
washed up.
But the thing, they're washed up. They've been
doing that's a bad thing. I'm sorry for saying washed up. Actually, guys, I was like, damn, that's kind of harsh, because I'm itching out of the demographic myself. We're not washed up, but it's just, these young, they just scroll. Like, they just know. Like you can keep going. My bad.
No. But washed up is a great way to put it, but
it sounds like such a harsh word.
It's a harsh word, but I see what you're trying to say there, because it's like y'all been doing the same thing for so long, right? Young people, we have no idea what we want to do with life. We're still coming up with it right now, right? And so for us, it's like anything and everything is a good idea, right? So we see this thing right here, we go, oh, I might want to make a video like that. We see this picture over here, we see this meme or something like that, right? We go, oh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna run with that, right? And it's a difference in mindset, really. I think that's the big thing that's happened, right? Because in the past, traditionally, marketeers did things one way. They had one style, and they worked with that, and they just went with, they just went with it, right? Oh, yeah, I can make these newspaper articles. I do newspaper articles for 30 years, right? You know what I mean? Nowadays, marketeers have to be the space is just so competitive. There's so many people in marketing, so many people in social media marketing. So in order to be successful in this, you've got to be a creative, honestly, right? So bringing in young creatives, I think it's going to be the best thing for any business.
No, definitely. And by the way, any young creators that find the video, I'm always looking for you guys. As I open the digital space, hit me up wherever you might find Ja. I'm looking for young creatives. That's who I'm looking for right now, because I understand exactly what you're saying. But taking things a bit further, or a step further, let's say we've created the content. So content, pictures, videos, they've created everything for us. We still actually got to post it and actually get traffic. Because a good video is not going to guarantee you going viral, you getting a whole bunch of likes, or people buying your products or services. So what can you tell a business owner after they post it? What are some best practices for specifically Instagram on how they can potentially reach more people with their content?
Okay, so for Instagram specifically, the number one thing that people don't utilize, and they think that they're dead, Ja. They think that they don't exist anymore. Hashtags.
Oh man, I got a video on that too.
Hashtags are the most successful thing on Instagram.
Yes.
You posted a video about it already. I can't even explain to people how important hashtags are. Man. Right? Hashtags. Another thing that people don't utilize is the geolocation
Oh,
on the
yeah.
top of a post. That's very, I mean,
That's a
whether
good
you
one.
just put Houston or something like that, I
Right.
mean, just put it on there, right? So what it's going to do is you've got this thing called social graph, right? And so what your social graph is every single person that you could possibly reach by you posting a post, right? So let's say this. My social graph is only so big, it's only 50 people. Your social graph is also only 50 people. Yeah, we might have 5 similar people on our social graphs, but that's still 45 people on yours that I have no possibility of reaching ever, right? So I post something on my Instagram story, right? And then you see it, you repost it on your Instagram story. The share is the most effective tool of social media.
Hey, what's going down? I had to stop things really, really quick and ask you one question. What are you doing to grow your business online? Now, I know you listen to this podcast and you're getting all this information, but what are you really doing to make sure your business is growing online? Now, if you don't know, I'm a content strategist by trade, so I'm gonna have to ask you, are you using digital marketing? If not, I would love to talk to you about your online brand presence. I run Allen Multimedia. We're a full-service digital marketing agency that works with community-driven businesses. We're able to help you strategize your customer journey, maximize your social media results, and create content that turns into community, and we turn that community into sales. Now, if you want to learn more about how we're able to do this, I want you to go to workwithja.com and book an appointment, and I'll talk to you soon.
So on top of hashtags, on top of the geolocator, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people to share your post. You want your post to be interactive in a way where people are going to want to put it on their Instagram stories, right? Because once you've now posted my post on your Instagram story, those 45 people who could never, ever see my post, someone in Seattle that you know, someone over in Bangkok, you know what I mean, or up in London or wherever you know people, they've now seen my post and it's gone international. All because I made my post good enough, it was interactive, where you wanted to repost it on your story. So always trying to break out of your social graph and have the share. I truly believe that the share is the most powerful tool on social media.
Agreed. I was gonna make a video about this. Sometimes I would get literally like 5 likes on a reel. No kidding, you guys. You're probably like 5 likes, yeah, 5 likes. But I'll go look at the insights, and literally I will get more shares on the post than likes, to a point where I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, forget the likes. How many people shared it? Because I'm an advocate where I watch people on social now. Like, I'm not phone watching, but I am phone watching. Like, if I see you on Instagram scrolling, I will literally just look at your phone. I'm not looking to see what you're typing, but I'm looking to see how are you interacting with the platform. Are you scrolling really fast on your reels? Are you just tapping through? Because that lets me know how other people might interact with this platform. But I say sometimes I would literally watch people just watch a whole video, really feel what they saying, and not like it.
Yeah.
So you really cannot judge stuff off likes anymore, because I think we're at a point where it's like your attention span is so short that sometimes you will watch something and really like it, but you just so in the mode of just scrolling and going that you don't even realize you didn't show no type of love. But I say like some people keep posting because it's 30 back.
Okay, so we're back. That was kind of crazy. Sort of power went out on us, guys. But you were saying something about likes, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at some of the trends, okay? Let's look at YouTube. The like counts on YouTube have been down. The subscriber counts on, like, people subscribing and liking videos on YouTube have been down for years, and it's continuing. The graphs are continuing to go down. TikTok, people are less likely to like posts on TikTok. Instagram, like you're saying, people don't like pictures on Instagram anymore. I remember back in the day, my personal Instagram account back in high school, I might have gotten like 300, 400 likes on a picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have all the likes. Now I post something, I might, be lucky to get 150.
Right.
You know what I mean? On every platform, likes are down. And why is that? It's because, like you're saying, people's attention span is so low these days, right? So
how can we combat that? Like, is there anything we can do, or like what would be your suggestions on?
Honestly, you can't. It's just the trends, right? Because that's just a piece of social media. The like is just one piece of the algorithm. So really what I tell creators to look for is, like you're saying, go look at your insights. And the most important thing is accounts reached, right? So whether that is on your reel, on your post, on your YouTube video, no matter what it is, the most important thing is the accounts that you reach, right? Because you've just got to be honest with yourself and just say, look, people are going to see this, people are going to like this thing, they're going to reshare it to their friends, but they're not going to like the post, right? It's simply like if you think about how the brain works, it's just simply one too many steps, right? So you're going through, you're swiping, oh, cool video. To like it is a whole nother step, right? So the video had to have been so entertaining. It had to have given them so much dopamine that they said, wow, I want to show this creator that I liked it. Where can I do that? Like, right? And then on top of that, the social media platforms aren't pushing out, the social media platforms aren't pushing out to like posts, right? Instagram, when the like feature first came out, it was like the post right here. And it had like this little like white box that was pointing out to the like thingy, right? But nowadays, they don't even care about it. I mean, if you have blackout mode Instagram, it's like the like button is just completely, you can barely even see it. It's just a little white outline. You know what I mean? So what you really should be looking for is just to push your post out there, and look at the insights, because the insights are going to tell you if your post is doing well or not the like counter.
No, and that's facts. Mic drop on that one for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So when it comes to social media, and I know you're a real big advocate on getting younger talent in, getting the ideas out. Where can someone find good young talent? Because I mean, I know it's the Fivers of the world, the Upworks of the world, but how can you really get attached to somebody that might be that creative for you?
Nest Digital Media Management. No, I'm joking.
Nah, come on, shameless plug.
Shameless plug. But how can you find young talent?
Young serious talent, because I think that's another thing with people like that are kind of in that demographic where they're like, I don't want to mess with these kids really don't want to work, they're not really active. So like where would you suggest someone go and maybe find some young good talent?
Well, touching on that point right there, if I don't want to work with these kids, is I'll tell them to simply grow up, right? Because you don't want to work with these kids, but these kids are the next generation, right? Yes. You might not like Gen Z. You might not like how if we feel like our mental health isn't good, we're going to leave a job, or, we have to have like 30-minute breaks and paid for lunches and all these good things because, Gen Z, we're sensitive, blah, blah, blah. Grow up. It's the new generation of people, right? Since the COVID-19 pandemic, this new generation of kids coming into the workforce, they're so concerned about their mental health and they're so concerned about their own personal well-being that if you don't want them in your workspace, then they're just going to bring in other people, you know what I mean? And they're just going to keep on bringing in more and more people until you're no longer in the workspace, and until the entire workspace is 19 and 20-year-olds and you're like, oh, I'm surrounded by all these young people. They're the new wave. They're the next generation. So you've got to get with the times to me. Right? They're a sensitive generation. They're sensitive in the workforce. So you've just got to make your business to be able to appeal to them, right? So that's for that point right there. But how to find that young talent, I would say on social media, because that's where they are. Yeah. The young talent is on social media. I mean, it's dominated by it, right? I think the biggest consumer of social media right now is women ages 25 to 30, and then after that, the second biggest demographic is women ages 18 to 24, right? Yeah. So that is 18 to 30-year-old women, and then beyond, and then secondly after that, then I think it's men ages 18 to 24, and then men ages 25 to 30 or something like that. Okay. But that goes to show that social media is controlled by 18 to 30-year-olds, right? So if you can find people in that space, just put it online. I mean, DM people. It's like a DM is like a cold email. You know what I mean? For us kids, we see a DM, we're serious about it, right? A lot of cats think that, oh yeah, I sent him a DM, I don't even know if he's gonna respond to it. I see a DM in my stuff, I treat it like it's a business email. Yeah. Like that is for real. You know what I mean?
That's the first time I ever heard that. I treat my DM like a business email. That's what's up.
No, for real, it is. Because if you think about it, we don't have emails anymore. I mean, we might have, but we're using them for Minecraft accounts and like making like a Facebook account for Subway surfers. You know what I mean? That's what we use an email for. Our DMs, we're for real about that. You know what I'm saying? So DM people, put it out on your story, get the word out there. Use social media as the tool that it is. No matter who you are, people are underusing social media. It's a tool for us to be used.
I definitely agree. So what are 3 things that you would tell a business owner right now that they need to be doing on social media to make more sales and grow their followers, brand awareness, but they got to be doing these 3 things or they're lost. They're not even in the race.
So first, social media doesn't just stop at the apps. It's also online, so websites, World Wide Web. So number 1 is have a website, okay? Number 2 is have the social media accounts, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know what I mean, whatever, Tumblr, Reddit, however many you want to have, you know what I mean. Third, connect them all together. One, two, three. Website, social media accounts, then connect them all together. How do you connect them all together? Either with a LinkedIn or a links page on your website or something like that. But what you can do by connecting all your social media accounts is you do this thing called building digital presence. And that's really that's my number one thing that I would suggest any company or startup or business owner to do is establish your online digital presence, because digital presence is everything. I think that's maybe the thing that I've been talking about this entire time is digital presence, right? Young people, the reason why we're so good at social media, the reason why you need to bring young people in to manage your social media accounts. I mean, we've been focusing on our digital presence since we've been 12 years old. I hate to say it, but I'm practically an expert at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just because it's so ingrained into young people's society, digital presence and social media, that it's like the older generations, it's not that they can never understand it, but it's something foreign to them. Right. It's not a part of their society. It's not a part of them growing up, right? Social media and Instagram and Snapchat and Kik were all a part of like me when I was like coming up. You know what I mean?
About Kik. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boxer and shit. I forgot about like stuff like that.
Dropbox and stuff like that. You know, those are all the OGs from when we were growing up. So we understand digital presence and what it takes to have a strong, good digital presence online more than any other generation does. So why not bring in young people to manage it for you?
No, definitely. Definitely. You know, this has been a really packed episode with a lot of great insight. So, for one, thank you for that. But one question before you leave that I always get to, and people ask, I think you touched on a little bit, how many social platforms should a business owner be on? All of them? Do you believe they should pick that 2 or 3 and that's it? Like, what are your beliefs on that?
So I'm going to say what's relevant. So let's cycle all the way back real fast to Dream Ride's entrepreneurship. You asked me, what did I do? What were the tools that I used? So what were the tools that I used to market that, right? So what I saw was that the Houston car scene is dominated on Instagram, right? Instagram controls the Houston car scene. It's not Facebook, it's not Twitter, it's not TikTok, right? It's Instagram. That's where people are posting cool pictures of cars, hashtag Houston car scene, right? That's all you need to get into the car scene. And so what we were trying to pull off was this event with over $20 million worth of hyper and super cars. We had about 100 to 110 cars out there. That's a lot of cars.
Yeah,
that's a lot of drivers, right? And so when you think about it, we probably reached 1,500 people, you know what I mean? Like realistically, car owners, right, who could have potentially come to the event, and then only about 115 come, right? That's what you're thinking for, make this huge marketing campaign, market it to absolutely everybody, then only a certain amount are going to come.
Right.
You got to think about your demographic first, though, right? So where's the priority of people in the Houston car scene? On Instagram. So our main tool that we used was Instagram, you know what I mean? And so we marketed the hell out of the Instagram account, made 3-4 posts a week, making reels and stuff like that, collaborating with successful influencers and stuff like that, other people in the Houston car scene to give us credibility. And so by targeting our marketing campaign towards Instagram, we're able to bring in our entire demographic plus some, right? And so to answer your question, what I would suggest for business owners is look at your demographic, see where they reside, right? If your demographic is young people, so I'll go ahead and break it down for them real fast. If they're young people, so ages 18 to 25, they're going to reside primarily on TikTok, primarily on Instagram, right? Once you start to break out of that, you start to get to 25 to let's say 30, 35, they're going to start falling off of TikTok as much, and they're only going to use it for entertainment, and they're going to start going towards, TikTok is still really important, but it's going to go towards more Instagram, and Instagram is going to be the big giant there from ages 25 to around 30, maybe 35. Once you start to break to that 30 to 40 range, you're going to start hitting Facebook, because those are still some of the Facebook users who are left, right? Facebook is dying off, right? So that's what you got to think about that, is it's for the older generations, right? Once you get past anywhere from 50 plus, Facebook is your best tool that you're going to market to those people. So it goes Instagram, it goes TikTok for the young people, Instagram for the intermediates, and Facebook for the big guys. Yeah.
Definitely. That was good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
No, Jared, I can't take too much else from you. I think you might charge me for any more info. So.
Well, you guys can find me at Nest Digital Media Management. I do this stuff for work also. So I'm a brand manager, and so the same work that I was doing for Dream Rides, I'm now doing it for some clients and stuff like that on my own. So you can find us at Nest Management Official on Instagram. And so we're going to be launching in this next week. We're going to be doing a whole like website launch and stuff like that, and announcing some of our first clients. So I'm really excited to get that off the ground.
Nice. Well, no, super congrats on that. And yeah, like I said, thank you for all the info, and
Thanks for
catch
having
you
me,
guys
Joel.
on the next episode. Appreciate it.
Thanks.